did you decide to come here?
Well, I just been seeing the movement up in Canada. I just wanted to get involved, and I heard these guys were going to start up out here, and I actually have trucks back in Iowa, and I happened to be in Arizona at the time when I heard it, and they were going to congregate, so I thought, well, I'm just going to get my van ready, and we're going to go join this. It's a good cause, and want to help get the mandates lifted for the children, and for the people that are working for companies that are mandating it, and like the pilots and the county workers and government people. So I just wanted to be a part of all that. I live in Iowa, and then I wintered down in Arizona, and that's where I happened to be when I got the message.
So what are your personal goals with this movement?
Well, I just wanted to letting people put their message on the van, and I want to take it to DC. So it's just a part of some people that can't go, that are wanting to fund us and give us groceries and the supplies to take the message to DC. So that's my goal, is to take it all the way across peacefully and respectfully, and to glorify the name of Jesus Christ, which is the name of my company, and it's all about Jesus and country. And we want to save our country from this government overreach, and so I just want to go to DC with the message.
So with everything that happened in Canada, what are your feelings?
Things probably could have been handled different, but God has there's always a plan in there somewhere, and you know, Trudeau smashing those guys like he did, I can't see him having much of a political career after this episode. But then again, evil's head comes up out of everywhere, and we just got to be into the fight. Where the heat is the hottest, or we're a traitor to the cause, and that's our freedom, our country, and the generations that we're leaving behind us. This is the time we're living, and we're you know, to be pro-life and pro-America, and we got such a great country here that they're letting go down the drain because of poor management and the debt that we're all portraying on all of us, you know.
We're 2 years into this pandemic, right? Something
yes.
that was supposed to last 2 weeks, we're now 2 years, right?
Yeah.
So what do you feel could have been done differently in terms of how they handle it?
Well, there's just a lot of corruption in the government, and they just love their power, so that's just what Trudeau did up there. He just powered down and doubled down. He didn't talk to the peaceful protesters for their concerns, and he just wants to push his agenda through, and the same with Biden in there right now in his administration. He's just, you know, this war over there in Russia right now. We got our southern borders wide open, and they're coming through there, and they're taking all our resources over to protect some border in some country that most of us couldn't even find on a map. And so it's just hideous the way they take our tax money and spend it so foolishly, and they don't focus on our oil fields that got so much oil in them, and we're got to import oil, and we're short, and our fuel prices are high. He's just trying to break the country. So we got elections coming up, and that's going to pretty much get some things straightened out this fall because of everything that's going on right now.
So what are your plans when you arrive to DC?
Well, I'm going to be peaceful, and I think everybody I talked to today is going to be peaceful, and I think we're just going to get to DC, and the things I'm hearing is they're going to ask people to stay home from their jobs, the people that couldn't go to DC, and as soon as we get there, and I don't think we're planning on going into the city, going into there at all, that we're just going to take our message across the country and gain momentum across there, and get these vaccine mandates and mask mandates lifted, and among other things, and hopefully we can get a big powerful movement going, and people would shut the country down, and you know, shut the trucks down. People can stay home from their jobs and say, you know, this is what we're going to do to get our freedoms back, because otherwise they're just going to double down, triple down, and keep powering up and keep pushing us back, and we're the ones that are funding all this stuff, us taxpayers.
In your circle, do everyone support this movement?
Everybody in my circle supports this movement. I mean, we're just America. We're God and America and freedoms, and that's what this American was created out of, is just to be free, and the Constitution and our forefathers that laid the rules out. And you know, with the border, the government that we have now it's just tyranny. That the way they're not even following their own rules, and If a country doesn't have borders, then it's not a country, you know. And so everybody that's in my circle is all for like Jesus and our country and our kids, because we're leaving this for our children, and we need to do our part.
So there are people who don't understand this movement, right?
Yeah.
So what would be your message to those people?
The movement is just getting our freedoms back. They enacted this power, or these governments, the governors of these states, and the government overreached for the virus, and that's gone now. We're past all that. It's time to get on with life, and they want to hold on to their power. They don't want to give it up. And so this is the movement is to get our freedoms back and get our country back and get our economy rolling and get everybody making money and get the inflation back down, because everything they're shutting down, the fuel and all the government regulations just make everything cost so much. You
are a professional truck driver.
Yes.
So can you share your experience? How did the pandemic affect you?
Well, it's just I'm more of a local guy now, not over the road. But the pandemic, and some of my friends that they couldn't even find at the time of it, couldn't even get meals and stuff. But they get shunned so much of no places to pull their trucks off the road, no places to go to the bathroom or shower. It's a dog's life out there, and there's no respect for any of them. For if they stop for 24 hours, people don't have toilet paper and people don't have food, and then people start freaking out after that. And the truckers are the backbone of this country, of any country, because they bring things to where they need to be at to get used, consumers.
Right. So let's imagine something for a moment. Let's imagine that the state of emergency ends tomorrow, right? So from your experience, what would have to be done for the economy and for the people to recover?
Well, I think Trump needs to be, which he was the one that won the election anyway, and these other people in big tech and all that stuff stole the election, but he's the one that can make a country run. He's not a politician. He's not bought off and paid off by people. He got our country free, fuel-free with energy. He had everything rolling, and the numbers were just great. And somebody like that could get back in and get this country humming, instead of the crippled people that are in there. And he's senile and everything else, stuttering up there on stage, and made a disgrace out of our country, out of the Afghan deal, and every other thing, him and the vice president.
So my last question is about the people who would be watching this, because a lot of people, I anticipate, would be following the news about you guys going into the DC. So what would be your message to these people, to the people who support you, who are worried about you?
Yeah, I just want them to get on board, and if we all come together and we all united we stand, we can make things happen in this country. Otherwise, the big tech, the big pharma, and the big government is just going to take over and keep wanting to smash us down like Trudeau did up there in Canada. And we, the people, are the ones that pay the taxes. It's this country. They work for us, and they forget that. They take our money and then they spend it, and they're all bought off and paid off by big pharma and big media and them kind of people. And the people that run the military complex that are selling all that big equipment to start wars and stuff. So we need to get our country back, and we need to start with this convoy and get people behind us and have a movement across this for freedom, and to get our kids the freedom and the future of our generations behind us. I think we just need to take the message across the country, and we don't need to stop and block anything. I think we just get the momentum going across the country, and that once we get to DC, if we all just disbar and go our own ways, and if people would just stop and not go to work, and the trucks would just stop for 24 hours, and let the government, right now, if the truckers would have stopped in Canada, when goods aren't getting moved, then that means the people, the big government people aren't getting stuff either. So we can stop this country, and we can get a movement started by just shutting down the country. And so that's what I just encourage everybody to do, to get on board and do your part. If everybody does your part, it can be back to we the people, instead of we the government that are trying to control us, that want us to have nothing and be happy, and that isn't America.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.